Hey there, Rick's Recaps welcomes you to Mischief. The movie unfolds with a horny high school student crashing his dad's car. Living a boring life, Jonathan spends his day looking at hot women on the street and reading XXX magazine. However, everything changes when he meets the new kid in town, Eugene Jean Harborough. Experienced with romantic encounters, Jean takes it upon himself to help Jonathan lose virginity with his crush Marilyn. Additionally, Jean develops an immediate interest in Bunny Miller, who happens to be dating the town's biggest jerk, Kenny Brubaker. The newfound friends decide to attend a local fair. Jonathan seizes the opportunity to catch Marilyn's attention at a kiss booth. However, fate has different plans, and he ends up having to kiss another girl due to a spin-the-wheel game. Meanwhile, Jean also participates, hoping to steal a kiss from Bunny, but the wheel lands on Marilyn. Jean seizes the moment and takes his time kissing her, much to Jonathan's annoyance. Jean persuades Jonathan into giving him more money and spins the wheel again, which now lands on Bunny. They share a passionate kiss, and Jean expresses his intention to see her again. The following day, Jean advises Jonathan on interacting with girls and improving his appearance. He critiques Jonathan's outfit and suggests wearing fitted jeans, as girls like the bulge sticking out. During class, Jean suggests that Jonathan drop his pencil to get a closer look at Marilyn's panty. However, when the teacher asks Jonathan to stand up and repeat what was said, his boner becomes the center of attention. After school, Jean instructs Jonathan to approach Marilyn on the street. However, Jonathan becomes distracted by a sudden noise, causing him to accidentally run into a parked car. Marilyn assists him, and in the process Jonathan purposely grabs her boobs. He tries to cover it up with an apology, but Marilyn doesn't appear bothered or concerned by the incident. After the incident, Jonathan thanks Jean for the experience of touching a woman's breast, but Jean assures him that it's just the beginning and that there's more to come. Unexpectedly, Marilyn appears and inquires about Jonathan's well-being. However, Jonathan quickly realizes that Marilyn is interested in Jean as she asks him out to watch a drive-in movie and shares her phone number. Jonathan becomes upset, guessing Jean's hidden intentions. But Jean promises not to pursue Marilyn and suggests that it's advantageous since they now know her plans, allowing Jonathan to invite Bunny for the same night. As they arrive at the drive-in, Marilyn begins to cozy up to Jean, which irritates Jonathan in the backseat. Kenny's friends notice Bunny's presence and quickly inform Kenny about it. Meanwhile, Jean and Jonathan go to fetch some Coca-Cola and root beer for the girls and soon stumble upon Kenny and his friends. Jean takes a stand and defends Jonathan by claiming that he is the one who asked Bunny out. Kenny challenges Jean to meet him at another nearby location in 15 minutes. When Jean arrives at the meeting spot, Kenny suggests playing a dangerous game called Centerline Chicken, where both drivers head toward each other, and the first to veer away is considered the loser. Refusing to back down, both Jean and Kenny continue driving until the last second, resulting in a minor collision between their cars. Kenny becomes aggressive and tries to attack Jean, but everyone scatters when police sirens are heard approaching the scene. Jean's father expresses his anger towards him for damaging the car, realizing that he won't be able to go to work the following day. As the story progresses, it becomes evident that Jean faces deeper issues beyond street fights. Jean confides in Jonathan, sharing the recent passing of his mother and the fact that his abusive violinist father, who beat Jean for wrecking his car, had to give up his job with the symphony to relocate them to Nelsonville. Back here, Bunny eventually ends her relationship with Kenny and chooses to start dating the town's bad boy Jean. When Marilyn witnesses this in the hallway, she runs away in tears. Jonathan visits Jean, who has taken up a part-time job as a mechanic to cover the costs of repairing his father's car. Jonathan has given up on pursuing Marilyn, but Jean insists that he make an effort and encourages him to call her and ask her out on a date. Although Jonathan initially doubts the point of trying, he eventually relents and calls Marilyn. To his surprise, she accepts his invitation. Jean advises Jonathan to step up his game and go all in. After their date, Jonathan walks Marilyn home, and they depart with a kiss. Presently, both Jean and Jonathan find themselves in relationships with the partners of their dreams. Jonathan and Marilyn seize every opportunity to explore the realm of physical intimacy. One afternoon, while Jean and Bunny enjoy their time at a local pasture, Jonathan tries to get Marilyn out her panties and asks her to enjoy bareback riding in the front seat of his dad's car. But soon they get caught in the act. Right then the door opens and the duo comes out in a weird manner. Despite the embarrassing incident, Jonathan and Marilyn quickly move past it and decide to take their relationship to the next level. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon, when Marilyn's parents are away for the weekend, Marilyn invites Jonathan to her house and takes him to her bedroom. To set the mood, Marilyn plays some music before they gradually undress each other. Jonathan discovers Marilyn's assets for the first time. A naked Marilyn invites Jonathan to remove his underwear, signaling him to start the game. Just as things are about to go crazy, Jonathan reveals he forgot to bring protection. Marilyn allows him to explore her body, but he can't go all in. Their sport is interrupted by Marilyn's dog that keeps staring at Jonathan, who isn't willing to pull out of his mission. The climax reminds Marilyn of Jonathan's promise: just a mild touch, no drill. In the end, John Stan is satisfied but leaves Marilyn disappointed. The situation takes a comical turn when Marilyn's parents unexpectedly return home, leading Jonathan to hastily dress and make a quick escape to avoid being caught. Unfortunately, his attempt to flee through the bedroom window results in an embarrassing encounter with Marilyn's mother, who witnesses his pants falling to the ground. Meanwhile, Bunny's parents intervene, wanting her to reconcile with Kenny, and they arrange a dinner at their home. Jean discovers this and becomes upset with Bunny, leading to tension the following day. Jean becomes upset when he realizes that Bunny's parents only favor Kenny because of his wealthy background. At one point, Kenny and his friends visit Eugene at the gas station where he works, treating him condescendingly by assigning menial tasks such as cleaning mirrors and refilling their car. Later, Jean and Jonathan have a dinner at a local drive-in when Kenny unexpectedly appears and starts belittling Jean, claiming that Bunny's parents consider him trash and demand he stays away from her. Jean reaches his breaking point and initiates a fight, with Jonathan joining in to support his friend. However, Jonathan ends up getting thrown and sustaining a broken arm. The brawl escalates, causing extensive damage until the restaurant owner intervenes with a shotgun, dispersing the crowd. While Jonathan admires Jean for standing up to Kenny, Eugene's father is furious and permanently kicks him out of the house. This leads Jean to make the decision to leave Nelsonville. Following his injury, Jonathan faces bullying from Kenny and his friends at school. He sits alone until Marilyn approaches him and reveals that Jerry Yeager, last year's football team quarterback, is in town and has asked her to be his prom date. Marilyn expresses her desire to go with Jonathan first, but he dismisses it, recalling their previous unsuccessful football team. As prom night arrives, Jonathan finds himself alone in a bar when Jean unexpectedly returns and greets him. The two attend the prom together, where Jonathan witnesses Marilyn dancing with Jerry and Bunny with Kenny. Eugene is promptly asked to leave as he is no longer a student of Nelsonville. Bunny notices him and tries to catch up, but loses him as he speeds away on his bike. Jean reveals to Jonathan that he came back to town to ask Bunny to run away with him. He has found work on a horse ranch in Kentucky. As Jean drifts off to sleep, Jonathan returns to meet Bunny and offers her a ride to join Jean, and the couple decides to leave town together. Emotionally, Jonathan bids farewell to his friends for the last time. He informs Bunny's family about her departure and encounters Kenny, the douchebag who has been bullying him. Fed up with Kenny's behavior, Jonathan takes out his frustration by wreaking havoc on Kenny's prized car in the heart of Nelsonville. Kenny attempts to escape before his car is completely destroyed, but Jonathan pursues him through the streets, ultimately crashing Kenny's vehicle into a fire hydrant, rendering it irreparable. With a sense of triumph, Jonathan returns and encounters Rosalie, who has a crush on him. He asks her out on a date before driving away in his battered car. And that's how the movie ends. Thanks for being with us.